Hey friends, welcome to another Writers Wednesday. We keep adding more and more letters to your brains. They're getting so full of letters. Let's see what you remember. What was this letter hiding as a penguin? It's letter P. P says P. P says P. Good. And who was this little guy hiding as a seal? Curve, curve. It's the letter S. S says S. S says S. Good. Here comes another one. This one was hiding as a cat. Curve around and back. This is the letter C. C says K. C says K. Good job, friends. You're learning so much. This was one of my favorite. It was so fun to make. Who is this hiding as an octopus? It's letter O. O says ah. O says ah. Good job. And the one we added last week that was a little scary. This was the alligator. Who's hiding in the alligator? Up, down, cross, straight line in the middle. That's the letter A. A says ah. A says ah. Can you do that with me? Ah. Good job. And this week, you just talked about a letter with Miss Abby. Do you remember what letter it was? D. D says D. D says D. Good job, friends. What could we make out of this letter D that starts with D? What about dog? I think so. I think it's going to be great. So if you have all your pieces, let's make a dog together. I'm going to start by gluing my D right on the middle of my paper, just like we have with all of our letter friends that we've made so far. Take my D. I'm using a brown D because I thought my dog should be brown, but you could use whatever color D you want. I actually have a white dog at my house. So there's my letter D. I'm going to push it right onto the paper. And now let's turn him into a dog. There's lots of pieces to turn this little one into a dog, isn't there? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the eyes. 2 white circles. Do you have your 2 white circles? I'm going to start by putting those at the top of our dog. I'm throwing my glue everywhere, right here. 1 little eye for my dog. 2 little eyes for my dog. Now, we need to put the little pupils in the center of his eye. So I cut out 2 smaller black circles. If you have wiggly eyes or the wiggly eye stickers, you can use those too instead. Or you can just use your crayons if you want. I'm going to put my eye right there and my other little pupil right there on the eye. Now, what do dogs hear with? Ears. I gave my dog some long, floppy ears. And I'm going to just glue them right at the top. You can put your ears wherever you want. I'm going to put 1 little ear here and 1 little ear here. There's my little dog. Now, for the dog's mouth and nose, you're going to use a fun shape. We've been talking about this shape a lot in February. What shape is that? It's a heart. So you're going to take your heart and you're going to put it, not like you usually do, but you're going to put it upside down. And we're going to put that little upside down heart right here, right in the middle. Now, Miss Stephanie used a white background and a white nose. A little hard to see. Maybe you want to use a different color one. And then I need another shape that we've talked about a lot. Up the mountain, down the mountain, across the bottom. It was the triangle. So you're going to take your triangle, put some glue on it, and this is a little tricky. You're going to take your triangle and kind of put it upside down too, right on the top of the heart. Got that? Did you get it? All right. Now this is where I'm going to use my markers. You can use a crayon or a colored pencil, whatever you have. And I'm going to give my doggy a couple little dots, kind of like freckles, and a couple little whiskers. And then my dog needs a tongue. Grab a pink marker or a pink crayon and give your doggy a little tongue right there. right at the bottom of his nose, sticking out of his mouth. He has a little tongue. What do you think, friends? Does it look like a dog? Did I disguise my D as a dog? There it is. You can still see the tall straight line the D has and the big curve line the D has. Good job. D says D. D says D. See you next week.